Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. As always, I hope you're having a good day. In today's video I'll be analyzing one of the best players on Xbox. The featured player's name is Logic and he is a very good player who likes to use a diverse selection of weapons. Why I found this gameplay very fitting to feature is because, like the previous video about Morbid, in this gameplay he is number 5 and playing on Party Crasher with Valkyrie like him too. So this will make for a fun comparison video. Logic is playing a match which contains 1 Master and 5 Predators, so this should be a high level gameplay, possibly the best Xbox has to offer. Logic actually moved up to the number 2 spot at the time of making this video and I've been following for a while now. He's a very energetic player and a lot of fun to watch. Morbid from the previous analyzing video has moved up to the number 3 spot on PC, so make sure to check that video out if you're interested. Make sure to follow Logic on Twitch, I will link his channel in the description below. Also, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe so you won't miss the next analyzing video. Alright, let's start. So, starting with round number 1, this will be ship side of Party Crasher. And as mentioned before, he's playing Valkyrie. And he's playing a Vault. I will probably see less Mozambiques since this is Xbox and spray weapons are more viable in the console lobbies. And I'm interested to see what their positioning will be. Logic's team is all on top of their ship. And one enemy member is moving his way up to the med bill. And he will probably get a really nice angle on Bus and his team. At this point in time it's probably a good idea for Bus, Logic and his team to push into the enemy's team ship side. And to free the enemies that are staying behind there. At this point in time, if they will stay here, they will get out-angled since the enemy team is 2 at front and 1 on their left side. So it's really hard to cover all your sides when you're playing, and as you can see the horizon is already pushing in. Logic is coming with him, but it was a little bit late and not that coordinated. The raid wasn't pushing with him, so their advantage wasn't really there and they lost a round. Better luck next round. Alright, moving up to round number 2. This will be ship side again of Party Crasher, the less nice side in my opinion, and we will see about Logic's positioning and gameplay in this round. As you can see, Shogun is already taking the pill, so they're posting up really wide. This allows them to get extra angles over the enemy team, and the enemy team decided to not go for pill this time, so they have a free angle there. It's nice to see in Hemlock in high level ranked. It's not something you see often, especially on PC, but it's a really good burst weapon and doesn't cost too much, so if you're good with the burst fire Hemlock, you could really make some good use out of it. Nice crack on the horizon there. As you can see, Shogun does have an angle on horizon, so in that situation that could have been very well a knock, but unfortunately Shogun missed and the knock wasn't granted. Nice shots on the raid is almost dead. Unfortunately he missed and the enemy team covered him there very well. But at this point in time it's really looking to be a poke battle, which is very advantageous for Logic in his team since they have the better angle, so they should be getting more shots in. And it looks like they do. Nice shots there, he knocks the Octane. Very nice. The raid is still on low ground and the raid of Logic's team is pushing in from low ground, and unfortunately Logic needs to heal, so this is a kind of a sketch situation. If the enemy team was smart, they would insta-push the raid and get a raid out of the game. But they don't, so yeah. And the raid gets challenged by Logic and instantly clapped. And that was a beautiful played round by Logic. So round number 3 now. This will be ship side again of Party Crasher. So this is shaping up to be a ship side heavy match, as it usually turns out to be on Party Crasher. As you can see, they instantly throw the Sky Knights. I'm usually more in favor of throwing them later, since in high level lobbies people expect you to Sky Knight ship. And they just won't climb up for the first 5 seconds to counter this. It's a very easy counter. As you can see, the enemy team is already pushing in. And this is where their horizon comes into play very well, because you can push the ship without needing to be in a climb animation to climb up. So this is a good play on the enemy's team. As you can see, the rest is very low. Logic is correct. He's still holding the angle, trying to let them not climb up. But unfortunately, both of his teammates are going to low ground and he's alone up. So he needs to give up height. And yeah, the enemy team now has the better positioning over Logic's team. At this point they should cover both doors and the entrance down below to make sure they can push in. Shogun is now holding the entrance and Logic will hold the door. Can then just heal up, slow down the pace of the fight by a bit, and hopefully the enemy team will make a mistake which they can capitalize on. Shogun is just making sure they can push in from low ground. One enemy is on Shogun's door. And Logic will go into an aim battle with the Horizon. Unfortunately, he didn't really connect here, and the Horizon one-clipped him with the flatline, so this is shaping up to be quite difficult feat to win for Shogun or for Logic's team. And unfortunately they lose, so better luck next round. So moving up to round number 4, this will be ship side of Party Crasher again. And as you can see, Shogun is already moving up to the pill. And Logic and Dress are taking the central ship. Logic is standing a little bit on the left side. Is really smart. He can get an angle on the raid there and avoid the Sky Knights. And he waits a little bit and throws the Sky Knights back. So at this point they will be more effective because they expected less and they hit the Octane for 25. It very well could have been a big hit. And as you can see, Shogun with the extra angle really put the Octane in a tough spot. And the Horizon of the enemy team already got knocked. As now one got knocked, they can push in, but unfortunately the raid of the enemy team has a devotion too, so Bus was very smart to reposition immediately, because with an R2-1 you're not gonna win an aim battle against devotions. You should never go face to face with a devo, and just play cover and jiggle peek to counter that. So it's really smart of Logic too to again not stand face to face with the Octane that was shooting at him with the devotion, to not get knocked and give them the chance to win a 2v1. Moving up to round number 5, this will be shipside again of Party Crasher. This time Logic and his team are not going to take pill. And we will see if they will do an aggressive push. As you can see, the raid there from the enemy team was already pushing into their side of the ship, so this indicates that they will push. And he gets a really nice outside angle on the raid and hits her for 150, so this is a really massive advantage because the enemy raid has a Q out, so they have some time for a 3v2. And the Horizon got knocked for it. She got 2v1. Octane is alone too, so he got 2v1. And at this point, it stays a 2v1. This is where the Q is really handy. Pushed the raid out of cover. And he put some pressure on the raid. The raid is there. Really nice cover play to counter devotion. Super jumps over him. This is kind of sketch, but the teammate of Logic was there to cover him, and they finished off the raid. Moving up to round number 6. Ship side again. And we will see what will happen. As you see, they push ship together. Raid is off in the off angle, but as you can hear, the enemy team is jump padding in. So Logic is really smart to Sky Knight ship. But unfortunately, the Horizon was queuing up and she got lasered whilst in a queue. And the same is probably going to happen to Logic, yeah, which it does. Raid is not really there to help them, and yeah, at this point it's already over. It was a really effective push from the enemy team. Alright, moving up to round number 7. This is again a tiebreaker situation, and again this will be the ship side of Party Crasher. They will stick a little bit closer together, not take the pill this time, because the last time the enemy team had an aggressive push whilst the raid was moving up to the pill, so it was a really big disadvantage in that situation. So some Sky Knights, maybe they will hit. It's unfortunately no hits, it was a little bit short. And at this point the enemy team is also not pushing in. Dress is on a good off angle. This is a little bit less predictable than taking the pill again. And maybe you can get some nice shots in. As you can see, the rate of the enemy team is low ground and C is literally 1. This will allow Logic and his team to make a push for it and finish them off quickly. Horizon Q is really helping them to get the top side of ship, and Horizon also got knocked. You see, really got focused by Logic and his team. And at this point, it's basically a wrap. They win this round. It's hard to win for the enemy team now. He is facing a devotion though and almost got knocked for it. That was pretty close. I'm really happy that on PC the Devo isn't really meta anymore, because it's such an annoying gun to deal with. Like Logic is being respectable and playing an R301 and that is really hard to have an aim battle with against the Devo. Moving up to round number 8, this is where the Falk ult really comes into play, so he can take center quickly. But as you can see, the enemy team is jumping in, so they will be in center more quickly and can take a little bit better positioning, the Logic and his team. Hopefully these Skynets will connect, so they have really good damage to push off. Unfortunately the Wraith got knocked now. So now it's a 2v3. But fortunately the Wraith on the enemy team got knocked, so now it's a 2v2 again. He really gets lasered by the Horizon here, so they really need to stick together now to avoid this becoming a 1v1 like it does now. And hopefully Dress can clutch it up to win the match. He broke the Octane. I'm not really sure why he's queuing up right now. He can just jump into the Octane's face and finish him off, but maybe try to get an unexpected angle on the Octane, but it didn't really work out, unfortunately. He broke the Octane, but Dress himself is 40 HP. And the Octane is still holding high, so he has an advantage. He's taking a bet, and Dress is just a little bit too slow with the bet, and he gets pushed instantly and finished off. So this will turn into a sudden death round. Alright, moving up to round number 9, sudden death, the most intense rounds in my opinion. Nobody wants to lose after 20 minutes, of course. And we will see what the play is this time. No one is playing Bin. They probably all are smart enough to not play Bin at this situation to not get instantly pushed. He throws his Skynates, but they were a bit early and the enemy team just decides to not climb up to avoid that. So that's why I'm saying you can. It's better to save them, so for later. Logic got cracked and almost naded out, but his jetpack really saved him there to reposition. And as you can see with the positioning of Logic's team is that they're posting up pretty wide on the ship side, one on the left, one on top and one on the right. Just make sure they cover every angle and very aware if one enemy would push. Das almost got knocked there, so they should be careful that the enemy team is not pushing in. As you can see, one player of the enemy team was already pushing in. You saw him on low ground. And he cracks the raid. This is really bad for the player that was pushing in, which is the Horizon, because the raid needs to heal, and so he essentially is alone here, and Luigi can finish him off, which he does. But unfortunately he got knocked for it. But the good thing is that Luigi is now on height, so they can rest Luigi, since they can just hold off the enemy team and get the rest off, and then it essentially is a 3v2, which they should win. So they got the rest off on Logic. Logic can just heal. Dress is already pushing in. This is a really bad play from Dress, in my opinion. He should wait for Logic to heal up and then push up together, because now he's getting 1v2'd. And he dies for it. But fortunately Logic gets a knock on the Horizon that Dress was challenging. So now it's 2v1 and he can just heal up again. And they need to hold their advantage, just fully heal up. And 2v1 the guy for the win. They're baiting the rest. Logic is climbing up to get an angle on the Octane, which is really nice. Get some damage in, and Shogun pushes into the Octane and they win their fight. This was nicely played by Logic and his team in the end. So this was the gameplay and analysis from BuzzLogic. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to follow BuzzLogic on Twitch and have a great rest of your day. See you next time. Cheers!